Okay, Pete and I are at Mammoth Cave. Davey come along too on Shine, and we're practicing separation on the trail. We just started, and Davey went to the first left and I went straight, and we'll meet back up in the middle. About 2.5 miles here. It's a short ride. It'll be 5 miles total probably. And you know, the thing about riding a group, they get to where they're just following each other and get dependent on each other. So we always practice that they can separate and not have a meltdown and have a bunch of fear happen. So the sooner you practice this, the better it is for you and the horse. Got a group walking up here, so we'll stop recording so we don't put them on the video. Well, we've made about a half mile, and Pete has seen quite a few people, and he was really hoping they'd want to pet him, but they were a little too polite, so he hasn't gotten any pets today, but I think he'll be okay. And he doesn't show a lot of anxiety from separating from Shine, so I'm very tickled about that, because even if he had shown some anxiety about it, it's understandable. We left the herd. So tickled that he can trust me to say, hey, we're going to be okay. Let's just go this other way. And he said, okay, let's go for an adventure. He's not walking too fast. He's not trying to turn around. So overall, very happy with how this ride has started. So we have a little muddy spot. Let's see how Pete handles that. It's just mud and water. It's not super deep, because this has a good base to it. But still, I'm going to ask him to go straight through the middle. Don't want him veering off. And if I wanted to walk in the water, I'd put him in the water. But I want a horse to go straight through the obstacle, whether it be mud, water, wherever I point him, I want him to keep a straight line. Very good, Peter. So I love to work on transitions on the trail. Their horse has a lot of forward, has some place to go instead of endless circles or just riding in an arena where it gets monotonous. So trail riding can be a great place to work on your upward and downward transitions. So let's give it a try. We'll make sure he's paying attention. He's not. I'm going to ask him to try it up. I didn't ask him to give to the bit or anything there. I just want to see what his initial reaction is. Does he want to take off? Does he act sluggish? But as he gets good with this, I'm going to start asking for softness during the transition, stuff like that. Because this is how I can get that softness, because I've got that forward motion. So now I'm going to sit down. Oh, nice. And instead of ignoring me, he listened to my seat and was happy to come back down. So pretty good, Mr. Pete. Okay, so we have a couple muddy spots here, and this is a lot softer. And again, I want to ask him, let's fade out there, to come straight through that. Yes, there are hard spots on each side, so to the horse and to the human, it makes more sense to go straight through or around it. But no, I want you to go straight through the middle, because there's going to be places where we don't have a choice, and I don't want this horse thinking that he should always look to go around mud. Mud happens. Another thing I'm very picky about is going up hills properly. So this isn't a huge hill, but it is still a hill, and I want to make sure that he lowers his head a bit and he drives from the hindquarters. So that takes a horse that knows how to soften to the bit just a tad, so he'll drop his head. And then when I push my leg on him, instead of being nervous, I just want you to dig in deeper. Oh, there, we lost our momentum. And just push up that hill. This is much safer for the horse. Is going to build the proper muscles. Good job, Pete. Okay. Now that we've got another less muddy spot, let's see if we can work on some transitions again. So we're going to soften them up this time. And good job, Pete. And this time, I'll keep going. But I can't see where I'm going. And I'm not asking to put his head in a lot, but I'm just asking him to have a little bit of rhythm. Nice. It's not just an endurance trot where we're just trying to stride out. I want you to have some comfort to your gait. And that's a sign of softness to the body and, honestly, softness in your mind. not here on those trails, that's what we need, is a good soft mind. Very nice. And I can come back down. I come up there a little bit during transition, so I just pushed it with my leg. And just because you can do this stuff in the arena doesn't mean it's going to work on the trail. Because as trail riders, we tend to just go to point A to point B and not worry about anything. And I've noticed that my horses will get a lot stiffer at the end of a trail ride because I haven't asked for anything besides go in a straight line and stop. And that's pretty much it. So practice your skills on the trail. For one, it's a little more interesting to the horse because he has that interest in going somewhere, and two, it's going to be a different environment, so he's likely to give you a few challenges that you can work on. Okay, so let's try another upward transition. These are going to get better the more we practice them. So ask him to soften, push up to the bridle. There we go. Nice job, Pete. I like that he's doing this one-handed because it's not real easy to do all this and videotape at the same time. So very happy with that. And we'll come back down to a walk as we go through the trees because I'm not watching where I'm going. Who's surprised about that? Insert comment now. Good job. And then we'll ask him to come up again. Oh, so there he wanted to raise his head a little bit. And it's not about raising his head. His head's coming up because his back braced. Not because it just come up. People worry about that head. You have to add more leg at that point, not fuss with his mouth. Now there's a little tree that we can jump. Are you going to jump or Pete? Well, that wasn't bad. It wasn't the most graceful thing, but you didn't hesitate, did you, buddy? Good job. That's a place for the trees cut out. Big old tree root. Some horses have a little bit of worry about that, but Pete says that's no problem. Let's just keep on going. I'm liking this. I don't know how much this is showing on the video, but a lot of washout here. So he's got to be very careful about going through that. I don't want him rushing. And then right here, I'm going to just go ahead and choose to go in the ditch, which again, to the horse, this makes no sense. But part of the trail training is to go where I asked you to go and trust me that I've made the right decision. And not always look for a way out of things. So very good job, buddy. Nice. Good boy. So we have another mushy spot. And I'm going to ask him to go straight through the middle. Remember, a good trail horse goes where you ask it to go without any stress or worry. That means he trusts you. So happy to see that he's willing to be guided. Nice job. Good boy. So we come to a little piece of water, and Pete had him a drink. And now he's looking for what might be growing, a little green stuff. Snack for the road, huh? He's like, I don't mind. And this is a good sign, because a lot of times when you ask a horse to stop, they're a little nervous and they want to keep walking. I'm sure you guys have all been there. So something you should practice a lot. Can you stop and your horse be happy and content to stop, or is he fretting around? And Pete says, I like stopping. I like taking it easy. All right, let's try for a canter. In the way. Good stop, buddy. Well, it's hard trail to canter on because there's stuff in the way. But, well, should we try a canter again? All these down trees, it just makes it a little bit harder. But all we can do is try. Let's trot first. Let's see. Maybe we got a little tree to cross. So that ain't even nothing, buddy. Well, we let it jump. And then we got to go down the hill. And then we're going to walk. So we have some slick rock. We got too many trees down to do too much on this particular trail. That's okay. He doesn't mind. He says, I can walk. Okay, let's try again. Nice job, Pete. Little stumble. It's okay, it happens. Good job. I like how even after he stumbled, he didn't get upset and he just come right down to a walk. And, you know, not everybody's going to canter on the trail. Some people will. So we practice all of it, and it's not really to canter on the trail so much as training of, can I up your energy and you come back to me in a willing fashion, or do you get hot and excited? And I think he's passing pretty well, because up till today, I don't believe he's cantered on at least on a small trail. Davey may have cantered him some, but probably not. I'll have to ask him. But very happy with that. As soon as I asked to come back down, no fuss, isn't trying to get hot afterwards. So I'll take it. Now, you know, as a note, if all you did was trot and canter on the trail, of course he'd start doing that a lot. Horses are what we make them, and so whatever we practice is what they think we want. So, you know, keep that in mind. If all you do is practice, let's say you practice for endurance, your horse is going to be very forward. So if all you practice is walk, and one day you ask for a canter, he's not going to know what to do. So trying to train your horse to do what your future is going to look like. Okay, we got another 100 feet or so, maybe. Let's try it again, buddy. And I'm letting him trot through the transitions right now. Eventually I won't. We're starting somewhere. Nice job. And it's interesting because, you know, these trails are turning and he can't see where he's going right away. And like right there, he dropped down as a caution, like, ooh, where are we going? Into the middle. Good boy. But this is hard on a horse because they don't see where they're going to go to. And I like that he would rather break down to a trot to protect himself than just blindly bull through this. Good job. All right, here's a little straight stretch, or straight for a trail. The hardest part about this particular trail is it's not exactly level. A lot of times it's slanting, and that makes it a little bit tough just to stay upright. You probably can't see that on the video. Right between two trees here. Nice job. I'm going to stop on this one because it makes a good turn and goes downhill. And I do not like cantering downhill or trotting, really. Very hard on the horse and very easy to lose his balance with all these trees and slick stuff. So, not something I recommend. Or at least be very careful about it and be aware of the stress you're putting on your horse's body doing such things. Pete hasn't seen it yet, but I see Davey coming up. I see his white hat. Oh, he saw it. The ears went up. So I see something. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, now he for sure sees him. It's shining, Davey. Hey, man, how you been? So we found Davey. So now we're going to practice just being behind a little bit. Make sure he has no issues with that, which I don't think he does because he's happy to follow, but we'll ask him to put some distance. At some time we've separated again, just left each other just to see, and so far, pretty good. Pretty happy with this. Davey jog-trotted just a little ways, and so he put a good distance between us, and Pete said, yeah, I could catch up, but you know what? He'll stop in a second and I'll catch up that way. I don't have to go faster. So I'm happy with that. There he goes trotting away again. Good job, Petey. Okay. End of the ride. Got about half mile to go. And we got off, or I got off, and me and Pete are walking back on foot. Oh, Mr. Pete. I like to do that so you're not relieving all the pressure right there at the trailer. It feels good to your body to get off and stretch and walk a little bit. Plus, it's good for the horse not to think, well, as soon as I get back to the trailer, I get to rest. So it's what you practice is what habits your horse will get.